Hey everybody, my name is Jim Farmer. I am the festival director of Out on Film. Thank you all for joining us. This is our 34th year representing stories for, by, and about our community and its allies. This, however, is our first hybrid festival, meaning we have a very limited schedule of films in theater, and we also have a lot of films that are virtual as well. One of the things that we've always prided ourselves on at Out on Film is having films from all over the world and showcasing the best in LGBTQ cinema worldwide. And I'm really happy today to be presenting some of the filmmakers that we have as part of our Around the World Worldly Affairs programming. So I'm going to go and let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to ask some questions. So do you want to introduce yourselves and we can jump in?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can start. So my name is Max Matveev. I am like Russian young filmmaker, actor, and an LGBTQ plus community member.
Okay. All right.
My name is Nikita. I'm a choreographer and dancer from Moscow.
Okay. Thank you.
Sajjad I'm Sajjad Shahhatami, writer and director of the Identibye from Iran.
Okay, thank you. And why don't we, in the same order, just tell us the name of your film and briefly what it's about and how long it took you to make it. Do we want to do it the same order?
Yeah. If I start, it's okay. Nikita.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. So our movie is called We Will Become Better. So it's actual the video music, the music video for song of the Sansara band, so alternative band from Yekaterinburg, which is like kind of a behind the Urals in Russia, something like this. And this is the story, which is actually a very simple story. It's a story about two men who cannot be together, but they are in love. But I mean, they were in love, and I think they still are in love.
Okay.
But they cannot be together because of the circumstances, of the society restrictions, etc. So they kind of dance together but not touching each other. They are dancing from different apartments, each from his own apartment, and it's kind of like a dream of one of them, I think, and just for one moment they can touch, like in a culmination. In the end, they kind of in a black void, so they touch, and by the end it all disappears. So this is kind of like a tragic love story, like a gay Romeo and Juliet.
And if we say about preparations, Angie told us that they are trying to shoot this film for about a year in different countries when something was wrong, but we find each other in Moscow, and after casting we had about 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. It kind of took 2 weeks, yeah.
With rehearsals, choreography, and 2 shooting days.
Okay, great, thank you. Let's find out more about Identibye.
آیدنتیبای فکر میکنم بیش از حد طول کشید به دلیل اینکه ما به خاطر یکی از صحنه‌هامون، صحنه بالا پشتبون فیلممون، مجبور شدیم که 2 ماه بعد از فیلم برداری اون صحنه رو بگیریم چون یه مجوزات مستش. ولی فکر میکنم کلا یک پروسه 6 ماه بود.
The film lasted too much because of one of the scenes, which was on the rooftop, and after the film finished, it lasted 2 months to film that scene. So because of some just permissions, so just we can say generally it lasted for 6 or 7 months.
Okay, thank you. We'll do it the same order like we did before, but just if you can talk to me about how personal the themes of your film are to you.
Yeah, it's pretty personal, I think, for me. I'm an open gay person and living in Russia, and like it's it's kind of how to say, it's always been personal for me to talk about it, especially when you change other people's minds, when you just like kind of meet them and talk about yourself, like, hey, I'm gay, and if you want to like keep in touch with me, it's okay. If you don't want, just like bye. Something like that. So for me, that was, I think, this work became very personal because of this aspect. I mean, the social aspect, and the second, second side of that, because I really have been through this emotion roller coaster. I mean, through this relationship shit, and I mean, when one person cannot be like so open like you want him to be, and of course I actually didn't play a lot. It was just like recalling the situation with my ex-boyfriend. So it's been very personal, I would say.
Actually, I think it's a really personal story for each gay. But all of us are touching the stories in different form. For me, it's a really personal story, and it was a bit scary for me because I need to act a part of my life.
Okay.
من اولین تصویری که باعث شد سراغ این فیلم برم این دستشویی زنان و مردانه بود که تو همه جای دنیا یه چیزیه که زن رو از مرد جدا میکنه و یک دیوار جنسیتی که در تمام دنیا ثابته و این باعث میشه که کار من جهانی‌تر و بین‌المللی‌تر باشه. انتخاب بین این دوتا و ایده‌ای که از اونجا اومد باعث شد تو سراغ این فیلم برم تا انتخاب جنسیت رو توش مطرح کنم.
It all started with just public restroom, in which we can see that there's always a limitation between women and men, and it's a kind of private situation which is always separated, and it just this thing came to my mind that this is like a sexual wall among the people. So because that I wanted to show this internationally, so I just decided to work on this scenario and this thought. So it all started from that point, from that idea of sexual limitation and separation in public restrooms.
Okay, thank you. Giving the climates, things that are going on in your respective countries, how hard was it to make this film?
Well, yeah, that's I can say only from me, only my thoughts, and I think it was hard. I think that the amount of time that people from the production spent on preparation moment, to make this movie happen, says it's by itself. The 1 year just to find, some money, 1 year just some kind of financial stuff, and two main characters. Because I've been told by Anjay and other members from production that a lot of people auditioned for that, and almost most of them were very, very scared that it's gonna be revealed. It's gonna be open to the society. It's gonna, it's gonna cost them their job. It's gonna cost them their reputation or something. They were afraid, even though they were young or, even older than me, but I'm like 28. They were looking for kind of older, actor and dancer in that story. So for me, I wasn't afraid at all because from the first, I think it's because of Anjay, because he really got me trusted in him so much. Kind of, I always say, and I always gonna say, I think I'm gonna say it forever. He's the perfect ally. He's the perfect version of ally. I mean, maybe the definition of ally,
Okay.
for us. And he's a straight guy. He has a wonderful wife who is the member of production as well, Julia, who's an amazing artist. And they are having such a mindset that it's so contagious for other people. And it's so calming for people who may be scared, to participate in the kind of controversy project that, of course, this project is.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the most role is our team. Every person who came to this project was important to get their role, to play them role. So of course it was a risk, but for me, for example, it was the best way to coming out. So my parents know that I'm gay. My friends know that I gay. But I never talk about it in public. So I think art project movie is the best way to speak on this theme.
Okay. Thank you. I'm curious. I wanted to ask Identibye, how hard was it to get Identibye made with the climate and things that are going on in your country?
You mean our countries, or it's already in order?
همین سختی که تو جامعه وجود داره باعث شد که ما به سراغ ساخت این فیلم بریم.
Since we have lots of hardships in our society in Iran, so we decided to go for this kind of movie.
همین سختی که اون طرف باید تصمیم بگیره که آیا به آن چیزی که در درون خودش هست برسه، اونو مد نظر بگیره یا نه.
This thing that every individual needs to know that he or she should understand the inner identity of themselves. So,
oops.
We can edit this a little bit.
This is a kind of
تا تو جامعه کمتر اون رو مورد قضاوت قرار بده و اون طرف رو بتونه درک کنه.
This is because of this factor, this hardship, that the audience tries to just understand the character, the idea, and the identity behind the character. And because whenever they face them in the society, they try to just understand them personally and just digest this identity.
Have either of your two films, have you been able to show these films to an audience yet in a theater? We'll start with Sansara. Have you been able to show this in a theater or to an audience?
I think I personally think no, because it's been shown, as I know, it's been shown at some festivals, even in some Moscow festival, because it's like it's been kind of big, like picture video art festival in Moscow, where we got the Grand Prix and the best directing and some kind of like silver for cinematographer and all this art, and it's amazing. And we were like, I was not in the audience at that time. I was in St. Petersburg, and that was Moscow. But I remember it so distinctly. Like I watched guys, stories on Instagram, and I'm like, oh my God, it's a big screen, and maybe not so many people in the audience, but it's still the audience, and we are like, it's so open, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so great. This is a great way to just say that we are, and say it by Nikita's words, say the best way to come out, the best way to take this topic from the shelf. It's the best. It's like the art, I think. And I believe that this video had so much support from not only the LGBTQ plus community members.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people just told me that it's so beautiful, it's so like lifelike, it's so real, and it's so poetic at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, like, so many people actually cried after watching that video, including my sister. Yeah. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, this is so good. I can't, my heart is broken. I mean, I'm so proud. And before I let Nikita say, I want to tell that this video suddenly became a tool to talk to my older relatives. My 85 years old granny, which saw this video just like 2 days ago. And the only comment, like negative comment about that video from her was, you are not playing the main part. And I'm like, no, we are like two main parts. It's not the real thing. It's like, it's only thing that actually she had to comment. And my dad, who is kind of conservative, like very caring, but kind of conservative, living in a very, very small town.
Sure.
He was, his eyes was a little wet, and he said, like, it's very beautiful. I'm proud of you. Which for me, it's kind of like, yay, I've got an Oscar. It's like kind of my dad recognition. So yeah, thanks.
Yeah, we actually get much support, not only in festivals or some series, in Instagram, YouTube. We have so many comments and from our friends, our parents, and interesting thing. Firstly, in my practice, when I watched this film, I not think about that. That is, I am there. I look it just like story which important for me, like for audience, and I think it's a really good result when we can just see this story. Actually, I have the same situation with my father, like Maxim, and we have not so good with each other, but he looks this video not from me. He get it not from me. He find it just in internet, and he called me and said that he really impressed for this story, and it was really best for me.
Thank you. Identibye has been shown in an audience with other people yet?
خیلی از دوستان من این سوال از من میپرسیدن که فیلم کجا اکرام میشه که بتونن در ایران ببینن که به دلیل صحنه‌ای که داره این امر امکان پذیر نیست.
Lots of my friends just asked me that is it possible to watch this film in Iran in theaters, but because of some criteria limitations, it's not possible.
ولی اولین بار و در اولین حضور در فستیوال سانتا باربارا به شکل درایوین تیاتر اکران شد.
But for the first time, it has been published in Santa Barbara Festival, and
و بعد از اون در جشنواره آستین LGBT گیلف
and after that in Austin LGBT
in Galaxy Theater and showing in Dhaka, Bangladesh, and yesterday I win a screenplay in this festival. توی کجا دیگه اکران شده بود؟ ما چند تا فستیوال توی امریکا سالن بهمون دادن and Josie Film Festival in South Africa,
Okay.
in Bioscope Theater and بقیه هم به شکل هیبرید بوده. So بوده.
there were lots of festivals, but they were just hybrid, kind of hybrid, and they offered us some accommodations and halls even, but
و خیلی دوست داشتیم که تو فستیوال شما هم به شکل فیزیکی اکران داشته باشیم که فکر میکنم نشد.
and we were really keen on attending your festival, specifically physically, but it wasn't possible.
Yes, it's a difficult climate right now with COVID and traveling, and I look forward to next year. Hopefully, I'll travel again and go to filmmakers. Yeah.
Oh, we all do. We all really, really want it.
Yeah, exactly. So, final question: what are you all working on next?
I think it's very really every different thing. I'm very happy. I want to say massive thanks to send massive, and I always say massive thank you and the gratitude or something to Anjay and this team, because we keep in touch, and he really he really impressed me, and he really made me feel that I can tell my stories. And I think of my own stories, and I wrote 2 scripts for short movies right now.
Okay.
One of them was really, I can say it's okay. Anjay wanted the story. We were talking at the first situation, in the first meeting with Anjay, and we were talking very personally instead of just do some kind of professional job before the shooting. And he was like, this is a great story. You just kind of need to read it, need to write it and just film it, because it's so personal. And I'm like, okay, but I have never written anything. But the summer was good for me. I wrote 2 scripts, and I'm now working on this, and I keep working an actor. And I want to, I think my mojo and my real maybe mission is to tell the stories of real stories of gay people, not gay people, queer people. I would like to say queer because we are all so different.
Sure.
And it's just it's not possible to label each other, and it's actually very not necessary. So for me, it's I don't want to blend it in, I just want to highlight the real life, and including my own life, including my parents' life, who's giving me the best support, even though they are kind of conservative, but they fight for this with their own mindset. And it's as well as tragic at the same time, is very, very inspiring. So I want to share to the world these stories, and I want to become a real filmmaker.
Mhm.
And I always gonna remember this time and this project with Anjay, Nikita, and all this huge company of friends and professionals, and very, very proud of it all. So,
Okay.
thanks.
Great. I say a bit shortly than Max, but
Sorry.
now I work like a choreographer in some projects. It's like a bit routine, but I want to say that after our film with Angie, Maxim, I decided that I really need to do that things in which I can feel really free.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing I need to speak on that topic which I really want to say.
Sure.
Today I want a choreography. I will choreography. If tomorrow I will want to filming, I will be filming. And actually,
You're a great artist. Don't forget to say this. He's an artist. He's an artist, and actually a lot of pictures, a lot of real pictures that were on set in my apartment. I mean, in my character's apartment.
Exactly. I forgot
he made it. He made it by hand, and he had an exhibition this year, which was very great, very stylish, very like. Sure. It's amazing that he's really finding his way to feel free. It's so good.
Oh, great! Congratulations.
Yeah, Max, today Max is my translator.
Today I'm your agent.
Yeah.
And what's next for you?
من فکر میکنم تا حدود یک ماه و نیم دیگه اولین فیلم بلند خودم رو شروع کنم.
I think I can start my first feature film in a month.
Oh, wow.
And این فیلم راجع به کودکانیه که به جای اینکه کودکی کنن و مشغول بازی باشن، مشغول بزرگ کردن کودکان خودشونن. به گونه‌ای میشه گفت کودک همسری که در قسمتی از مملکت من و کشورهای اطراف جریان داره.
This film is about the concept of spouse child, and we want to talk about the children who, instead of just playing and doing some children-like things, they have to just act like a husband or wife, and they just need to act like just youngsters or adults, even not children.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, great. The program is Worldy Affairs, and two of the extraordinary films that we have in that program are Sansara and Identibye. I'm so honored that we have these films and we're showing these films, and thank you so much for the filmmakers who contributed these films, and thank you all for joining us today. It was great having a conversation with you, and we wish you continued luck moving forward, and thank you for being an integral part of Out on Film this year.
Thank you for having us, Tim. Yeah, it was such an honor. Thank you so much for conversation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.